We have had freedom of speech in this country for a very long time.
We're in England. It's a Christian country. I don't want to hear anything about the Quran. All Christians, yeah.
And those angels apportioning each one. Indeed, what you have promised is true.
Take her away. Take her away.
This is very urgent business, ladies and gentlemen, I beseech you. Resist it while you still can, and before the right to complain is taken away from you, which will be the next thing. You will be told you can't complain because you're Islamophobic. The term is already being introduced into the culture as if it was an accusation of race hatred, for example, or bigotry, whereas it's only the objection to the preachings of a very extreme and absolutist religion. Watch out for these symptoms. They are not just symptoms of surrender, very often ecumenically offered to you by men of God in other robes, Christian and Jewish and smarmy ecumenical. These are the ones who will hold open the gates for the barbarians. The barbarians never take a city till someone holds the gates open for them. And it's your own preachers who will do it for you, and your own multicultural authorities who will do it for you. Resist it while you can. And if you wonder what will happen if you don't, look and see how a cricket team in Middlesex in England had to change its name by force last week because it was called, and had been for years, the Middlesex Crusaders. Look and see how stories about little pigs can't be taught to children in English schools anymore, lest offence be taken by the religion of peace.
Take her away. Take her away.
One of the things that is coming up over and over again is Islamophobia. And, well, you can see the stats, you can see the numbers rising, particularly since October the 7th. Although we shouldn't fall into the trap of thinking that before October the 7th, this was all heading in the right direction. It's been far too high for far too long. Clearly, we need to just say over and over again, Islamophobia is intolerable. It can never, ever be justified. And we have to continue with a zero tolerance approach. And I think there's more we can do in government. There's certainly stuff online which I think needs tackling much more robustly than it is at the moment.
What I'm hoping, Kerry, is your experience as a prosecutor means you'll be thinking about the strategy we can use to make sure we take action against those who break the law.
It has a massive impact on people and their lives, their feeling about being able to walk around their own communities, their streets, their places of work or wherever it may be. It is certainly not low level. It really, really impacts people. I've seen so many cases for myself.
Many cases of hurty words. I'm sure, as Director of Public Prosecutions, you saw many cases of child rape. We didn't make any videos for them. Didn't implore the victims of those crimes. Didn't seek the prosecution of the perpetrators. Because as we know, the victims were young English girls raped over and over again by gangs of Muslim men. And now, as Prime Minister, you want to prosecute speech, but not rape?
And I think there's more we can do in government. There's certainly stuff online which I think needs tackling much more robustly than it is at the moment.
This is the sick, two-tier, multicultural society that our leaders have inflicted upon us, and it's unsustainable without force.
Take her away.
The gatekeepers, those who have opened the gates and left them wide open for the conquest of our lands, the likes of Starmer, Macron, Merkel, all the leaders that came before them, the leaders that followed. They can't sustain their creation. It's running away from them. So they aid the invaders still, to the detriment of the natives. So we have the woman arrested in an English street, an English high street, merely for asking that the Muslim preachers turn down the loudspeakers on their sermons. We got the guy who was arrested outside the Turkish consulate for burning a Quran. He was actually stabbed by a Muslim man who didn't go to prison. But the man who burnt the Quran was arrested and charged. What do our leaders have to say? What do the politicians have to say about all this? Very little. And when they do speak, they sneer. Remember 10 years ago when hundreds of German women were being raped and sexually assaulted by migrants? Jess Phillips dismissed what was happening. Oh, it's just something like that would happen on a Friday night on Broad Street in Birmingham. Really? Then we've got one of the current contenders for the Labour deputy leadership, Lucy Powell. When the issue of rape gangs was raised, she called it a dog whistle. Really? Rape of little girls? And that's what these politicians, the media, the police, the judiciary are doing in order to perpetuate the society that has been inflicted upon us. And they will continue with this two-tier system, all the while gaslighting the natives. Diversity is strength.
We've had free speech for a very, very long time here.
Free speech in this country has been for a very long time. We've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom.
Diversity is not strength. And we don't have free speech in this country.